Hey guys, hoping all is well. In this video, we're going to be continuing the read-along of the 7th level by Jody Feldman, continuing today with Chapter 13. Just a quick review of Chapters 11 and 12. In Chapter 11, Travis was trying to get the trash can to locker 207, and as a result of some kind of events in Chapter 12, he basically got wrongly accused for the toilet paper fiasco in the boys' bathrooms, and now he's kind of upset and frustrated because he has this label on him that gets him into trouble for things he doesn't do, and he kind of talks to Miss Pension about it. But at the very end of the chapter, we do see that he gets another blue envelope and that he's going to try to investigate it. And as always, I'll show you any pictures as we come across them, but let's begin with Chapter 13. Chapter 13. Hoo-ha! We have a puzzle! It's after dinner, the first chance I have to open this envelope. The second I got home, my mom drove us straight to a new Chinese restaurant. We didn't have the carry-out menu, so we ordered there, came home, and ate. And now I have coin number 2 and a new puzzle. I am toward the edge of the river, in the midst of the tropical tree, at the very start of the island, but never inside of the sea. Tack a representative of me onto the bulletin board next to the drama room. Deadline, Tuesday, end of school. Don't let anyone see you do this. There's the representative thing again, Curie. We're on my bedroom floor, and she's leaning against my leg. Glad they didn't ask me to tack a trash can onto a bulletin board. It could be worse. Watch this answer be a sofa. How would I get a sofa up there? A toy sofa, like from a dollhouse. Or I almost slapped myself upside the head. I didn't have to spend all that money, Curie, or get into trouble with Mom, or ask Mrs. Pynchon for a favor, or volunteer for detention Monday morning. I could have shoved a picture of a trash can into that locker. At least I won't get into trouble this time, if I can figure out the answer. But how do I solve this thing? The locker was easy. It was math. And the trash can? Okay, so I didn't know how to solve that, but I did it. How'd I do it? Maybe if I take this one line at a time. I am toward the edge of the river. What's at the edge of the river? Which river? The Mississippi? I know that one. The edge of it, too. Remember, Curie? Remember when Dad took us to the cobblestone levee? We looked at the paddle wheelers and skipped rocks into the river. And I wanted to pretend you were a seeing eye dog so we could take you to the top of the arch. Bad idea, then. No ideas from the first line of this puzzle now. Second line. In the midst of the tropical tree. Like a palm tree? With fronds and coconuts? All which are not on any river I know. Line 3. At the very start of the island. Where does an island start? Where does a bagel start? Or your water bowl, Curie? Line 4. But never inside of the sea. Wait a minute. Seas are filled with islands. Islands can have palm trees and rivers. And none of this makes sense. None of it. If someone wants me in the group, they should yank me from behind, drag me to a deserted room and say, "You're part of the legend. Now let's have fun." What does solving puzzles prove? I had to qualify to get this far. Shouldn't that be enough? My hands itch. They want to wad up the paper and forget all of this. For 3 reasons. 1. I am not Cambridge. If people think they're recruiting some genius, they're delusional. 2. If I have to keep a secret from everyone I know, except Curie, who doesn't talk back, we're all in trouble. And I don't know what to think about 3. That if I can't solve these puzzles, then I really must be Johnny Flood the Worthless. That's what stops me from walking away. Plus, someone thinks I'm good enough for this test, and if that someone's the legend, I'm here. Maybe my brain will think of another idea if I'm not thinking about the puzzle. Instead, I can... What? I can't watch TV or play computer or video games. My mom would play cards if I wanted, but she's all happy on the couch watching her show and reading a magazine at the same time. I decided to make her happier and asked to start my weekend chores tonight. She gushes like I gave her a diamond necklace or saved the world from monsoons. And even though I find myself standing at the living room window with a bottle of Windex and a stack of newspaper, which she says wipes the glass cleaner than paper towels, it's not so bad because I'm actually accomplishing what I'm supposed to. The next morning, I power wash the garage door, which I do 3 times a year to get rid of my soccer ball marks. Next, I pick up the foam packing peanuts I knocked over in the basement last month. That's fun because I launch handfuls of them toward the garbage bag and see how few make it. After lunch, my mom gives me a break and I get to go with her to the airport to pick up my dad, who's coming home from Japan. First, we take a detour to the library. She lets me use the computer there. For school, I tell her. It sort of is. I type the legend poem into a search engine, which is a waste of time. Most entries for Toward the Edge of the River are from nobody bloggers who walked to the edge of one. For tropical trees, I keep picturing monkeys until I discover they might jump into the sea if they're in danger. Other birds and animals fit every line, but which one would I choose? All this research is hurting my brain, but I can't exactly let my mom catch me playing computer games. Idea! And it's school related. The Legends webpage. It's no secret there's a link on the Lauer Middle School homepage to a legend page. It's just the group symbol, and all it says is, "The legend lives." But what if that's not all? I pull up the black page with the blue words and symbol. I move the cursor across and click every piece of blue just in case. Nothing. But it feels good to click and click and click some more. And I keep clicking even when my mom calls my name and I swivel around. She's waving her cell phone. Dad's plane landed. Let's go. I turn back to sign off the computer and... Wow! There's more on the legend screen. A whole mess of writing. How'd it get there? Mom, 2 minutes. Please. The way she shakes her head, I can't change her mind. Can I at least print? Come on. I take a quick look at the screen, long enough to read, "It was all Mrs. Bluermeyer's fault. The pranks, the punishment, the legend." Chapter 14. No matter how creative I get all weekend, I can't convince my mom to let me on the computer. Then when I try to concentrate on the puzzle, I can't get my mind off the birds and animals. At least the chores don't make me completely crazy. Just crazy enough so that I'm dreaming a chimp and I are painting skylight glass when the phone wakes me up. It's 6:28 on Monday, but our phone rings at all sorts of weird hours, with my mom running the engineering business and my dad working overseas. My dad comes to my door, still on the phone, still looking jet-lagged. "Hold on, please." He lowers the phone against his chest. "It's Mrs. Pynchon. She can't pick you up this morning." "Hoo-ha! I can ride my bike." My dad shakes his head, barely able to hold it up. "Someone needs to take you. Mom's leaving in a minute, so it's either me or some Mr. McKenzie who's going in early to open up. You know him?" "He's fine," I say, for a snitch. Why can't my dad be wide awake? Or even better, why can't Mrs. Pynchon send that Lookout Transportation Services bus with the couch seats? I guess this isn't really reward time. I wait outside with my bike, but when Mr. McKenzie pulls up in his black sports car, I know it won't fit. Before I turn back to the garage, though, he pops open the trunk. "Let's do this," he says. Then he maneuvers blankets and ropes to protect both my bike and the car. We get in, and the way he's smiling at me, I know I won't like what he's about to say. "So first thing, Travis, we need to clear the air and discuss toilet paper," he says. Not how many times I had to sink elbow deep into germ-ridden toilets. And blah, blah, blah. I want to cover my ears and not listen to the rest of his accusations. But after I told Mrs. Pynchon I saw your head in that box, I realized something. I was fixing a sink in the front hall boys' room right before that. So unless you're Superman, I told her, there's no way you could have personally hit that bathroom. I didn't. Not any of them. Sorry I jumped to conclusions, kid. If there's anything I can do to make it up to you, you can, I say, getting an idea. And no germs involved. Just tell me what you know about the legend. "Oh no," he says. "You're not getting those secrets from me." "You know they're secrets?" He laughs. "Actually, none at all. But you help set up for events, right? Someone has to tell you what to do. That information all comes in blue envelopes or through email, anonymously. And even if I had vital information, Well, I know how to keep big secrets. He shifts in his seat. So let's just say I owe you one, and change the subject. Not back to toilet paper. He laughs again. How about cars? Do you like this one? It's expensive, isn't it? He nods. Which is why I do home repairs after hours. Tell your parents. I can always use the extra bucks. And there's rarely enough overtime pay at school. Overtime pay? Did he flood the bathrooms himself so he could work overtime? I want to ask, but there's no way to do that without sounding like a brat or accusing him, or worse. He could deny it, then set me up again. I pretend smile instead. His sandy brown mustache goes up at the corners, raising his matching goatee, like we're buddies now. Which we're not. We get to school, and Mr. McKenzie helps me get my bike out, lets me into the building, unlocks Mrs. Pinchin's darkened office, then leaves me there. I reach for the light switch, but I kinda like it dark. I spin in Mrs. Pinchin's big chair and pretend I'm her laying into Randall. For making Travis do dangerous deeds, it's time to taste your own medicine. You'll climb the flagpole and balance on top, standing on one leg for 3 hours, drinking 2 gallons of water, and you're not allowed to pee. Then you'll heap onto the school roof and run across the top in 5 seconds or get mauled by a pack of wolves. The only way down is to jump, so if you break every bone in your body, it's your own fault. That served him right, not only for taking Kip's cap, but for elbowing my lunch tray on spaghetti day in 5th grade. When the teachers were looking, he stooped down with the other oafs and pretended to help me clean it up. The only thing he cleaned up was my $5.85 in change. No matter how much I yelled at him, he swore he didn't take it. Marco saw him, though. My flagpole punishment would make up for him basically harassing me my whole life. I smile and lay my head on Mrs. Pinchin's desk. Problem. With the lights off and the chair so comfortable, I might fall asleep. I need to move. I open Mrs. Pinchin's top drawer and use a black Sharpie on a neon orange note. Mrs. Pinchin, I went to my locker to get my books for first hour. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Travis. I jam the note into my pocket. There's no neon orange anything on top of her desk. She'll know I opened her drawer. I write the same note with my stuff. I figure I have at least 7 minutes. The fastest way to my locker means turning left. I turn right and walk to the end of the hall, then turn left and... Why am I walking? The halls are deserted, and Mr. McKenzie's my new buddy. I jog down the hall. I sprint up the back stairs. I race a half lap around, then slide down the handrail of the stairs on the other side. I zoom around the school 2 more times and slide down the banister 4 more and see the librarian coming out of the library. I slow down until she clears the hallway. Idea! I slip into the media center, access the legend page, then click everywhere. I click the corners, I click the sides, I click every blue letter in every corner of the symbol. I even look away like I did on Saturday when I happened to hit the right spot. Nothing. I need a system. I start at the lower left-hand corner and click in a straight line across the bottom of the screen. I move slightly higher and click another straight line. And another. And another. And... Bingo! Black screen. Lots of blue writing. It was all Mrs. Bluermeyer's fault. The pranks, the punishment, the legend. If she hadn't been such a legendary teacher herself, if she disappeared mid-year instead of announcing her departure 2 months before the fact, then none of this would have happened, and none of this would exist, for better or for worse. The plan. The 7 students involved called it the Blue Plan, but they never agreed on one best way to persuade Mrs. Blue to finish out the school year. They did agree to disagree and to act simultaneously upon their disagreements. One dewy November morning, long before sunrise, each of the 7th graders showed up ready to carry out his or her mission. The pranks. Prank number 1, perpetrated by Amy Williams, now a business owner, who wrapped all of the grammar and reading books from Mrs. Blue's room in blue construction paper and arranged them on the grass outside the classroom window so they spelled, "Don't leave Mrs. Blue." Prank number 2, perpetrated by Pat Bryan, now our assistant district attorney, who attached a set of blue jail bars across the window of her classroom door. Prank number 3, perpetrated by Chase Macklin, now a singer/songwriter, who broke into the broadcast room and programmed an original song, the Blue Mire Blues, to play continuously over the school speaker system. Prank number 4, perpetrated by Lydia March, now a White House reporter, who constructed a blue cage around Mrs. Blue's desk and chair, complete with door and lock. Prank number 5, perpetrated by Susan Stein, now a university math professor, who set 1,000 clear plastic water-filled cups outside the school's front door, then added blue food coloring to strategic cups so the word stay was visible from above. Prank number 6, perpetrated by Dan Fletcher, now a video game creator, who programmed the school computer network so all screens booted up with a solid blue background and the continuously streaming words, "Mrs. Blue must stay." Prank number 7, perpetrated by Griffin Barnett, now an IT consultant, who plastered the halls with 500 blue paper photocopied wanted posters of Mrs. Blue. The problem. Prank number 1, the morning dew caused the color of the construction paper to bleed on all the book covers. Prank number 2, removal of the jail bars left nail holes in the window frames. Prank number 3, breaking the lock on the door cost hundreds of dollars in repair. Prank number 4, when removed, the cage wire left telltale snags in the carpet. Prank number 5, blue food coloring stained the concrete walkway. Prank number 6, the district technology expert spent hours getting back into the computer system. Prank number 7, the litter problem resulted in overtime work for custodians. The fallout. It helped that the intentions were noble and the actions creative. By the time the administration identified all the perpetrators, Mrs. Blumenmeyer had decided to stay the rest of the year with one condition. The 7 students would work with her to create what was to become the legend. Login name, password. I can't stop smiling. The rumors are true. Chase Macklin is an original legend. And me. I'm exactly like those kids who tried to do something good but messed up. I need to find out more. Maybe I'm not supposed to, but no one's around. I type my own name into the login space and try my school password. Nothing. I keep my name and type the blue plan for the password. Nothing. Now what? I look around. The clock! 7:20! I can't have been gone for 15 minutes. I can only pray Mrs. Pynchon hasn't gotten to school yet. And that is the end of chapter 14, and I'll stop the video there. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I look forward to seeing you in our next read-along video of the 7th level, where we'll be continuing with chapter 15. And as always, guys, please take good care of yourselves, and thank you so much for watching.